Karl had a treat in the week, didn't he?
He couldn't believe his luck.
We know Derren Brown. You know Derren Brown, the sort of magician, mind reader fella.
It's more special than that.
Well, called me up in town, said, "Do you mind if we bring along Karl?" He went, "Pleasure." Karl's very cynical, saying, "Well, he won't get into my head."
Yep.
Great, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
He went, "Can I ask him questions?" I went, "Well, no, it's social." He went, "I'm not coming." I went, "Well," he went, "Well, I'll ask him, I want him to know how he did that trick when he said, you've got the winning ticket." I went, he's not going to tell you, he's a magician." He went, "Well, it's not worth it then, if I can't quiz him." But he came along.
I still did though, didn't I? Got in there with the questions that the people wanted to know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, what did you ask him and what did you find out?
I said, how do you do that?
I love the fact that the first half hour, me, Steve and Derren Brown were convincing Karl that he didn't see a ghost when he was 5.
Yeah.
And then we got onto the tricks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it will live in my mind. He won't get inside my head.
Yeah.
And he got inside your head magnificently, Karl, didn't he? I mean, were you not amazed? I mean, Derren promised actually that he would come on the show in the future, and then you, the listeners, can see how he can baffle, amaze, and just generally freak out.
I think we should film everything that happens, right? Because it's just a waste, because you're only getting half of it when you hear what Karl has to say. Because his face, honestly, says 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just, I think we should film it and just put it on a DVD of Karl's facial expressions. This is Karl thinking he saw a ghost.
Yeah.
This is Karl thinking they were going to clone a man moth.
Yeah.
It's just different faces.
So do you want to try and explain what he did and what marvelled you so much?
Right, yeah, he comes in, he sits down, I'm a bit sort of, bit spooked by him straight away.
Oh, you're spooked by him straight away, really?
Yeah, there's a weird thing about him. Right? So anyway, he sat there, and I'm watching him.
It's because he was naked?
Checking, you know, seeing what he's, you know, looking at and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets his paper out, and I think, right, he's gonna do a bit of trickery and that. And he says to me, right, write down a number and a name, right? It was between...
A 2-digit number, a 2-digit number, and a name of anyone you know.
Yeah, right. Now, the thing is, I thought of the name because I was telling Steve earlier about the kid at school who I fell out with, right?
Yeah.
Over that girl who was called Aris,
Yeah.
right? So that name was, like, in my mind, ready to go. Because I didn't want to use anybody's name who I knew, sort of, now, because maybe you've mentioned it in the past. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't say Suzanne.
I knew Colin Makin anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, well, do you know what I mean? So I picked a name, yeah. Well, I thought you might have been thinking about Auntie Nora. So I picked this name, right, that you three didn't really know about, right? Number just came to mind, right? So he
42,
says, right,
we were never thinking of that.
42, right? Yeah. He said, right, just keep saying it over and over in your head. And I'm there, and he's saying all these sort of different numbers at me, and I'm trying to throw him off a little bit. Every time he said a number that was nothing like 42, I was sort of smiling, looking a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Don't know if you caught that, right?
I just, all I could see was you looking sort of blank.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I was doing
stony
that.
face.
He picked the wrong person when he said, "Let your mind go blank." You'd realise he picked on the wrong person then.
Right. So,
you had to squeeze his head to get it going again.
I said, Derren, if in doubt, he'll be thinking of monkeys. And Derren looked at Karl and he said, "Were you thinking of monkeys?" He said, "I tried not to and I thought of them more."
Right, that's true as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm there thinking of these numbers and that, and then he said, right, let's just talk about other stuff for a bit, right? So I was like, well, I'm not going to say anything, right, because I don't want you to catch me out. But then when we were talking, I was trying to, like, knock him off track.
Clever.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I played a bit of hardball with him.
Yeah.
I was, like, saying, because we were talking about aliens and that as well, weren't we? And I was saying, well, you know, they might come and land again in 2060.
Clever.
You know what I mean? Dropping in different numbers and that, and so doing all that, playing him at his own game, and I think I had him for a bit.
On the ropes,
right? So anyway, comes down to the time when he's telling me the name and the number.
Yeah.
And well, he explained what he actually did. I mean, that was.
He just went. He said, "Just think of a number at the end of it," and he said, "Oh, is it an I?" And you went, "It wasn't an I, but there is no okay." And anyway, he got
You got the name.
Harris. Then he went and said, "Are you an extrovert?" And he wrote down these numbers.
Well, he wrote down some numbers and he said that if you're an extrovert, these are the numbers you tend to choose. If you're an introvert, these are the numbers you tend to choose. And he wrote them down. And he said, "I don't think you're really an introvert. I don't think you're this. I don't think you're that." And I think he came up with the number 32, didn't he? He said to you, "You're thinking of number 32." You said to him, "No way." You couldn't believe your luck, could you, when you'd caught him out?
But he said it's either 42 or 32, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but it was beside the point, because then he said, rather brilliantly, hang on a minute, if you just add up these numbers here, that adds up to 42.
It was a
If
magic
you add
square.
up those numbers, that's 42. That's 42 across diagonally there. That
So,
box is 42.
All the numbers that added up on the page, whether you go across, sideways, down, across, whatever, always added up to 42.
Yeah.
Right?
And you've got the name Harris.
Which
Got the name
freaks
Harris,
you
right?
out.
It freaked me out. I kept saying to him, "How do you do it? How do you do it?" And he wasn't telling me. I was talking to people at work about him, and one lad said, apparently the trick that he uses is the same thing that Hitler did.
Play record.
No, seriously. Apparently it's the same thing, because he was saying...
What?
Play record.
No, just let me finish,
No.
because... No, I've even ran it by other people to check if I'm right on
Okay,
this.
so let's do play record and come back
Because
to
the
this.
people in the XFM office, they're pretty wise. They're up on that stuff.
No, he used it in a different way.
Yeah, play record.
No, hang on a minute, let me hear it.
All it is, it's power of suggestion, apparently. And when Hitler used to do his big speeches to people...
Yeah. Do you want to play? It's supposed to be play.
Come on, finish your
Well,
point.
that's about it.
Who
I'm
told
just
you
saying.
that? Ian Canfield.
A few different people.
Oh, all right.
The big thinkers out
No,
there in
like
the
one-
XFM office. The brain boxes.
But anyway, right, it's...
Because Magnus Magnusson works on XFM now, doesn't he?
Right, listen.
Or was it Paxman? Was it Jamie
Now,
Paxman?
that blew me away, right, that the fact that he got the name, he got the number. Spooky bit, right? I'm walking home. I called you up a couple of times, then I left a message on your phone. Because it was just amazing. Not only was he good at magic, but his maths was brilliant. No, well, that thing adding up to 42 was like, how did he do that? I mean, we didn't even make a big deal out of that.
He said, "All Carol Vorderman's got is the maths."
Do you know what I mean? Imagine him on Countdown. He'd even know what they were going to write down. Do you know what I mean? So, a bit of a wasted talent. I should see him again about that. I think he's...
He asked him, I said, "Derren, I said, why are you doing it on mucking around on telly?" Then he went, "Sorry?" He went, "Why are you mucking around on telly?"
Yeah.
And he said you could make some serious money. I think Steve went, "Well, he does all right." He went, "Nah, but if he did that with the ticket thing all day."
But didn't you say to him you should be working for the police force?
I said, yeah, he should be in a police station. He could help people out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not a daft idea, is it?
Not really.
Right, so anyway, right, so I get home, still, I'm calling different people up walking home, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Right, I called Suzanne up telling her about it, and she's like, slow down. She said, you're like a little kid who's just been on a fairground ride or something.
Yeah.
Slow down. Right, so I'm telling her, call me mum and dad up. My dad wasn't that impressed.
No, of course
He was
not.
like, well, that's all been done before. But anyway, right, so...
But then he wasn't impressed with Little Donkey, was
well,
he?
No, he's not impressed by much, is he?
right, so I get in,
He
and,
probably had to nip out down to the phone box.
right,
Do some thieving.
Yeah. We've forgotten bread. No, I'll just go down the phone box.
Yeah.
right, so I get into my flat, right, and what they do in my flat where I live, they put the post in, like, these little pigeonholes, right, and I don't normally check them out. I leave it for Suzanne to do, right?
Sure.
But this time, for some weird reason, I thought, right, I'll check it, see if we've got any posts. Open it up. There's only this. A letter for Miss Harris.
Yep. There it is. Bona fide in front of us. A letter addressed to a Miss Harris.
Well, does she live there?
No, it's my address. She doesn't live there.
Did she ever?
Dunno. It doesn't matter. It's weird, isn't it?
But
We've
what
never
you-
had.
what-
Normally, I think there was a guy who lived there called Yaki Shoki.
Mr. 42.
It was definitely wasn't an Harris, right? This is
Yeah.
the first time we've had a letter for this woman.
Yes.
Right.
But what are you claiming? Because
Well,
Derren Brown himself admits that it is not paranormal, it is not supernatural, it is a trick. It's a
yeah.
trick.
Is it?
But he would say that, wouldn't he? Hitler said that. Play a record.
Well, can we open this? 'Cause
No! It's illegal!
No, but I'm thinking if
What
it's a
if we opened
birthday
it off
card
air?
for someone's like 42nd birthday.
Right. You can't open that letter. Go and put it back, or put you cannot open that letter.
Why not?
You can't open someone else's mail, because you think Derren Brown's supernatural.
What if we steamed it open? Then resealed it, no one would know.
It's only a letter.
You can't, yeah, you can, but I don't want any part of it.
Carl,
So
I think you should open it.
No, you open
I'm
it.
not opening it. It's against the law. You should open it,
No,
though.
we won't open it then.
They won't send you to prison.
Look, forget it.
You'll get off.
Cure.
Bit of cure.
There's
yeah,
no
it's
cure,
really
no.
approaching. I'm looking. What? I'm tempted to open it.
Well, do you want to, Steve? There you go.
No, I'm not going to open it, but I think you should, definitely.
Alright.
6 Different Ways by The Cure from the album The Head on the Door. We've enjoyed that.
Head on the door, Carl. Ooh, bit of a coincidence.
Spooky, isn't it?
It was only 4 weeks ago you were talking about a head and a door.
Exactly.
Has the door got a number on it? 42.
Oh dear. Oh.
So we're not opening it?
No.
Well, I can't open it because as the producer, right?
Oh yeah, because your standing in society is such that they'd make a real example of you.
Yeah.
That a producer of a tin pot radio show once a week. Yeah, he should know better. He can press buttons and talk at the same time. Send him down.
They wouldn't try you in an adult court.
You would get away.
Be
You would get away with it. Just they'd hear you speaking for a little while, and the judge would end up squeezing your head and letting you off.
It'd be like those people who train monkeys to break in. Do you remember down in South London? We talked about it in the past, and they were going around robbing stuff, and they trained them to do it. Yeah,
I think
so
that
I think
was some time
I don't think those monkeys would have got in trouble. It would have been the keepers. So, you know, I think XFM would probably take the rap.
Will you open it?
No, I can't be seen to open it.
No, he's
I'm
a
an
writer
award-winner.
director.
Exactly.
So am I. I can't be seen to open
Oh,
it.
give it here then.
Right, I'm having no part of this.
That's against the law, but
Right, I'm having no part of it.
open it. Come on, you started now.
Right.
The thing is, right, if it's important, we can say maybe she's listening.
But do you need the stress? What it could be anything. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Oh, and if you are listening, Mrs. Harris, you have got gonorrhea. Call the clinic. Do you know what I mean? It could be anything.
Oh dear.
Oh well, I think my talk did well. What is it?
It's the number 42 on there.
What is it? Could you say? Be careful. What?
Let me see what it is.
What is it?
Oh. Dear Sir, Madam, your periodical dental inspection is now due. Would you kindly contact the surgery to make an appointment? Harris, Mrs. Harris, if you're listening, your periodical dental inspection is now due. You might want to contact the dental surgeon that you normally go to.
Could have a faulty tooth.
Faulty tooth.
42.
42.
I don't believe it. 42.
Faulty tooth. Oh my God.
God, that Derren's good. Isn't
Derren Brown's good, isn't he?
Oh dear.
That's some blur then.